The US presidential election is just 3 months away, and the political landscape has been rocked by a series of dramatic events. Hello and welcome to TimesXP. I am Dhriti Atri. In the past few weeks, we have witnessed an attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump, President Joe Biden dropping out of 2024 race. Then Prime Minister Kamala Harris emerges as the probable Democratic nominee with strong support of Biden. But let's just here assume that Donald Trump won the presidential elections. So what can India expect from this big win? Let's dwell into that. Firstly, we will talk about foreign policy. Trump has already said that he will prosecute Biden's official who acted against him. He might pull the US out of NATO or let a European handle it, which could affect the Ukraine as well. It's quite public that Trump wants to engage globally and focus on America first. So he will likely to look to the countries like India to balance against China. In a post, Trump called India and Japan our two most important allies and criticized Biden's administration for criticizing India for not allowing more immigrants. Then comes the negative part. Biden has criticized India's Citizenship Amendment Act and the removal of Article 370 as well. But it is also expected that he will not get into India's internal matters. Also, the United States suggested that India should change its policy because it continued ties with Russia after the invasion of Ukraine. Secondly, as per an article by The Diplomat, Trump might move US resources and military to focus from Europe and the Middle East to Asia because this will increase the pressure on China. They might boost military cooperation with India as well, including transfer weapons and technology and shift investment and jobs from China to India. Then thirdly, there comes bilateral trades. During Trump's first term, both India and the US were negotiating a trade deal. Under Biden, there has been no progress in this particular deal. But Trump might pull the United States out of the World Trade Organization and negotiate with the countries individually. Now, the Trump administration had already removed India from the GSP, which allows duty-free export to the US. Let me tell you that in January, at the 14th India-US Trade Policy Forum in New Delhi, India asked for easier visas for traders and investors. They also asked participation in the US public procurement and the option to renew H-1B visa in the US instead of returning home. Then in 2023-24, the bilateral trade between India and the US was $118 billion. Exports to the US fell by 1.32% to $77.5 billion, while import dropped by about 20% to $40.8 billion. Washington was India's top trading partner in 2021 and 2022. But in 2023, China became India's largest trading partner with $118 billion in trade. Lastly, we'll talk about the tariff. So, last year, Trump criticized India for high taxes on American goods, specifically Harley-Davidson motorcycle, and threatened to impose a reciprocal tax if he returned to the power. Now, during his first term, he called India a tariff king. He said India wasn't giving the US fair access to its market. Trump also increased the import duties on Indian steel and aluminium. In response, India raised import duties on several American goods. In conclusion, that's some sweet and bitter relationship that India can expect under Trump's administration. Trump and Harris are gearing up for the high-stake contest that will shape America's future. Well, who will win the election, only time will tell. But till then, stay tuned as we bring you the latest update and in-depth analysis.